Hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading where we dive into the energy of this very powerful 1111 portal and what this gateway means for you, what it means for the collective, how we can best harness this energy, as well as what we should be on the lookout for and everything in between. So please do keep an open mind, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome, beautiful souls. A lot of downloads came in as I was meditating for this reading here today. Now, the 1111 portal, it can activate a lot of manifestations, twin flame, soulmate energy. It can be about past life contracts with Libra in the South Node on a collective level. This is about forging new paths. Now, the way that Spirit showed it to me was like breaking in a new pair of shoes. Better yet, a new pair of boots, right? Because sometimes we get blisters. Sometimes we have to get comfortable with a situation before we feel settled. And I feel for a lot of you, I mean, some of you could literally be breaking in a new pair of shoes, but what I am sensing here is this is the month that things get activated, where it is like trying on that new pair of shoes, and it's going to take you a little bit of time to acclimate to that energy. So this could be a new job. It could be a relationship. It could be some health changes. These things are happening here sooner rather than later. And 1111 is that energy that ushers in our unique visions. It opens us up to manifest our heart's desires. It is an awakening of humanity and collective consciousness. Now, I was getting a lot of messages as well around big shifts, a lot of enlightenment, and it took me a little bit of time to clear my throat before your session as well, or before this reading. So some of you, there's definitely a need to speak up, speak your words into reality. This could be having that conversation that may feel a little bit difficult. It could be speaking up for what it is that you want, having a conversation about, maybe compensation or setting some healthy boundaries. This can also be about creating a vision and sharing it with a trusted loved one as well, or journaling, writing, anything of that nature is really beneficial around this 1111 portal. So we're just going to take a look here and see what's showing up. Now, again, because 1111 also can represent the Four of Wands, it's all about celebratory energy, celebrating the good, the bad, the ugly. So even if there are current situations that you are going through, if there's been situations in the past, this is about you appreciating and acknowledging your growth and knowing that you've come here with a purpose, knowing that you have what it takes to lead that life. And look at one of your first cards out here. You have is the promise. So what is the promise that you want to keep and uphold for yourself, for your life, for your vision, towards your dreams? Again, there's a major awakening in humanity at this time, and 1111 is that portal, that opening where it's really important that you get clear. This would be a wonderful time to create a vision board, for you to maybe listen to music, sound frequencies, get your vibration moving in a new direction. Some of you may even have a strong urge to declutter, clean the house, travel, get out in nature. Because look at this, on this promise card here, she's standing on a sailboat here, and the waves are crashing, and one could say she's either coming in or she's pulling out. And for a lot of you, there is a new beginning, but it also means that you're closing the door to something. Again, whether it is a relationship, whether it's health, whether it's an old belief, a pattern, and this has been a common theme lately. If you've been watching the videos, there is a shift happening all across the board, and we need to close the door on a chapter that may have felt a little bit stormy, Okay, because you can see there's storm clouds in the background as well, but you're sailing off. And there's an old saying, what is that saying? Ships are meant to sail. They're not meant to sit in the harbor. But sometimes we need to sit in that harbor to, to heal, to repair our nets in a way, right? To fuel up, to get ourselves right. And for a lot of you, you have been going through that harbor stage where now you're ready to kind of put yourself in this new direction. You're ready to wear those shoes or those boots in order for you to feel more comfortable here. And I am getting that it's important not to project, because on the very bottom it says, I thought it said projection, but it says protection. So there's something within this. Some of you, there is a projection happening around you. Other people are projecting maybe their own wounds, their own stories, or their own beliefs onto you. Because this card really does say protection here, I feel like a lot of you, it's important to protect your energy. And another download I was getting right away, and I had to put a crystal right on my third eye. Some of you may need to ground your energy. So that can be done through working with crystals. That can be done with getting out in nature, even connecting with trees, placing your hands on a tree in nature, working with maybe plants, plant medicine, essential oils, things of that nature. I'm also getting, feet, shoes, legs, ankles, the lower extremities. It's important to get moving, or if you feel like you've been moving too much, allow this portal to relax, to get into that energy of maybe relaxation and a little bit more peace. Really focus on staying in the moment, in the present on 11/11. Because you are protected here, but some of you, you've gone through a lot, and I sense that you're setting boundaries for yourself at this time as well. Now, I was getting a lot of names came rushing in at once, and I tried to write them all down. So if they come up again, I got the names Sam, Julie, Juanita, JJ, Bridget, and Fiona. So if those are your names or people that you know, someone that you are disconnecting or connecting to, please take it as it resonates. Now, I'm getting a key. Someone is trying to open a door or start a vehicle with an old key. And again, there's another saying that you can't open that door or start that ignition with an old key if it's something new. So some of you are working on releasing the old again to make way for new, but you can't keep doing what you've been doing is what I'm getting here. You can't grab onto that old key thinking that you're going to unlock something new. You have to let that go. So there is a purging taking place at this time as well. The purging is taking place to bring in that Four of Wands energy, which is about celebration. It's about maybe even ceremonies, honoring each other. It's about communal achievement as well. So a lot of community showing up. This could be a really wonderful time for you to do some yoga. You have the 4 paths of yoga here, which we have devotion, we have action, selfless service. Some of you are moving away from people who are very selfish, because they gave me selfless and then I heard selfish. This could also be you looking at your own selfish tendencies, because we all have them at times. This word karma is showing up, and we have that Libra energy in the South Node, which can bring up past life contracts. That can bring up karma and dharma. So a lot of us, if we've been through karmic cycles, karmic patterns, or something that's been very challenging and we're not quite sure why, we're wondering, when are we going to get a break? Or why do we keep meeting the same type of people? Or why does the same thing keep happening? It's because there are some past life, or even this life, karma gets such a bad rap. It really does. But basically, karma is the law of cause and effect. What we put out there, we get back in return. Whether we label it as good, bad, right, or wrong, it's really none of those things. It's just based on our actions or consequences based on a choice or decision that we've made. So if there are decisions, choices that you've made in the past that you are, reaping some some karmic healing from, this is the time for you to release. Scorpio season is a big one, partnered up with this 1111 portal, because Scorpio season is very, very deep energy as well. It can be a little bit mysterious, but it's also about us connecting to our own spiritual and higher self through some tools such as yoga, such as, oracle cards, any acts of divinity, but most importantly, meditating and connecting to our higher selves. But I am getting here, some of you are being called to be of service of the world, or towards the world, through your work, through your art, through your presence, just showing up, right? It's about you being an inspiration to others because you have gotten through a lot yourself, right? You've gone through a lot and you don't realize it. Some of you may not see it or realize, but you are a role model for others. And you don't give yourself enough credit here. Pat yourself on the back, because some of you're very, very hard on yourselves. You may be a perfectionist, or you may feel by setting a boundary that other people may look at you as selfish, and that is not the case. You're finally opening up to a new way of doing things because maybe you've wrapped up a little bit of that karmic cycle, and now you're ready to take inspired action, which actually you have here as your outcome. And I'm pretty sure Libra's latest bonus reading, I think the final outcome from a different deck literally said inspired action. And as I mentioned, Libra in the South Node, this affects all of us, regardless of what sign you are, because Libra in the South Node is all about past life. It's about contracts. It is about, breaking free from cycles that we don't want to be in, right? They're not fun. They're here for our growth. They're here for us to ascend and awaken humanity. And that's what's happening here. Now, we also have the knowledge, self-study. So some of you are really thinking about taking a class, a certification. This could be a new form of study. This could be a self-help book or any type of book. They're showing me that someone may be ordering a book. Maybe you're writing one. Maybe you've just picked up one, or you can see one from where you are at. If you can see a book where you are sitting at this time, I want you to go over to that book and turn it to page 58. Drop it in the comment box below. I'd love to hear what is popping up for you. I'm getting 58 is a significant number. Some of you could even be 58 years old, or 5'8" could be significant for you. But again, I'm getting books here. I'm getting knowledge, self-study, but also I hear that you've learned lessons of the past in order to gain the knowledge that you now need to move forward. Okay, and that could be why I'm also seeing the shoes, right? Breaking in the shoes to move forward. Now, you also have self-discipline and practice. Now, self-discipline discipline and practice with the 4 paths of yoga here. This is about you've done a lot of the practice here. And sometimes we have to repeat something over and over and over. Whoever's taken a driver's test and maybe failed, you practice until you finally get your driver's license, right? You don't give up. Or for those of you that have had an exam and you've studied and studied and studied, or in school, right? There could have been a situation where we wish we would have got a better grade, but we study, and that shows within the exam or within the results. And I feel for a lot of you, you had to discipline yourself. You had to go through a lot of the same repetitive cycle in order to grow. But now you have this self-discipline in order to do things differently. Like I said, they're showing me that key again. So now you have and hold that key within yourself to unlock some new doors here. So I love the messages from, the 4 paths of yoga. I don't even want to say them because I'll probably butcher them, but it looks like Bhakti, Karma, Nana, and Raja. So my yogis out there, don't get mad. I may have butchered that. But devotion, action, selfless service, knowledge, self-study, and self-discipline and practice. Now you also have here The esoteric unknown, which I really love because, again, Scorpio season in itself, which lands in that 1111 portal, is all about the esoteric realm. This is about the mysticism, the mystical side of things. It can be deep. For those of you that are Scorpios out there, or you have Scorpio in your chart, I have 4 different placements of Scorpio in my chart, so it can be deep, it can be intense. Hence, I'm a reader, right? So for a lot of you, you are diving into your spiritual gifts. You yourself may have a spiritually based business. You may be just starting out on this path, discovering more, but it almost feels like you're sucked in. It feels like there is a deeper calling. A lot of you are really diving into, learning about, even if you're not quite sure, because look at all of the black space there. It almost reminds me of the moon energy here as well. But a lot of you, this is about exposing those gifts, bringing them out, even if they feel a little bit over the top. That could be past life energy of maybe criticism or judgment. You know, maybe you were beheaded in a past life or hung because of your, witchy practices, or maybe there were situations that you saw certain things. You may have been a seer. You may bring those gifts into this lifetime as well. But a lot of you are prophetic. I'm getting prophetic dreams, prophetic images. And wow, no wonder. I haven't even looked at the other cards yet, but look at this. You have Ezekiel's vision, and this is the gift of prophecy. So what a beautiful clarifier there, because some of you, you're receiving prophetic messages through your dreams, through your meditations, through yoga. But I'm also getting a lot of you you don't even have to do, if you've already been doing the work, if you've already been, practicing spirituality and tuning into your intuition and higher self for quite some time, what's happening now is you don't have to put yourself in a certain state of mind in order to receive the messages. They're just going to come to you while you're out walking, right? Maybe walking the dog. Maybe you'll be in a grocery store and receive a download. For some of you, you'll be driving a vehicle. This started to happen to me very early. I mean, I've always been very spiritual, but the more that I opened up to another level of, mysticism, another level, another portal, another gateway, if you will, I started to feel things where I'd be driving down the highway and about a mile down the highway, I wouldn't see it yet, but I would feel the energy of an accident or something happening where it was just intense, and it would hit me like a bunch of bricks, right? And of course, we don't want to feel so much at times, but don't be scared or alarmed if you're starting out on your journey and you're ascending and you're opening up to another energetic frequency, another realm, another ascension. And some of these things start to happen to you. They can be fearful. They can bring in a fear-based energy. And Spirit is saying here, don't be fearful of your gifts. Don't be fearful of maybe projections that other people may have about your gifts as well, because you are, in a sense, I mean, this sounds a little bit far out, but the chosen ones. You are the ones that, and it's not religious, it's not anything like that, but you've come here with, missions. If you didn't, I mean, we all do, of course, but for a lot of you, this is a spiritually based mission that you have. So embrace these gifts. Don't misuse them. Try to understand, work with someone, learn, grow, activate, and trust. Most importantly, trust that you have spiritual support. You have your guides, you have your angels, you have your loved ones in spirit. Some of you are mediums as well. And I'm also getting that some of you shut down your gifts for a while. Some of you shut down your gifts because of something that may have happened that caused you to shut down. I know even myself as a young girl, I shut down due to a lot of, childhood upheaval. And I could feel so much and see things so much that I went in that hermit mode for many, many years and suppressed my gifts by, anything I could to kind of drown out that noise. That's what Spirit does not want you to do at this time. So if you have the vision, embrace it. Now you also have belief showing up here. This is all about the belief system. And look at that. There's a lion there. So some of you, there could have been a lot of activations around the Lion's Gate portal, which was on 8/8. Some of you may be Leos or have strong Leo placements in your chart. There looks to be an elephant here showing up. There is a hawk or an eagle. Some of you are working through maybe even some childhood beliefs because you can see the children in the background. And then it almost looks like there is a man here that is ready for war, and he's wearing one of those suits that cannot be penetrated. So for some of you, you are being asked to take a look at some of those beliefs that are so ingrained that it could hold you back at times to your fullest potential. And some of those are childhood beliefs. Maybe it's how you feel around love. It could be how you feel around money. It could be how you feel around the world, humanity, whatever it may be. We're being called to take a deep dive into our belief system at this time, okay? I'll pull some cards and clarify some of these as well. Now, you have the elephant here. Elephants represent strength and stamina. And I was just having a conversation with a client the other day, and the elephant definitely can be very ferocious, especially when they are in the breeding season. And there's a specific gland that you can tell. So I feel for a lot of you, you know when to stand your ground or put your foot down. And that is the strength of the elephant coming in here for you as well. They can be very gentle, loving, kind, majestical creatures, but it's important to, let them come to you as well. Try not to be forceful at this time. Don't force anything to happen, but allow these things to happen. But if you need to put your foot down and set healthy boundaries, then it's important for you to do so. You have the strength of the lion here as well. I also get that there's some fear that may still be suppressed because maybe some of you were around a very controlling person, whether it was a mother or father, maybe it was a soulmate, some of you a karmic relationship, past life contracts. I'm also getting siblings. Some of you may have had siblings that were even in the war, okay? Maybe some of you feel like you've gone to war, gone to battle. Maybe you've been in the military as well, or maybe it's been a battle of the hearts, because I'm getting here love warrior as well. So just take a look at what's showing up for you at this time. And there is a deep reprogramming of the collective consciousness at this time. It's time to awaken. It's time to, and a lot of you, if you're watching, you are, and you have been going through this awakening process here, but others around you may not quite see that. And that can be frustrating at times, but try not to, stampede with this energy here. Maybe your beliefs, it's important for you to express and let people come to you, especially if you're a coach, if you're a healer, if you work in the medical field. There's going to be so much indifference. There already is a lot of polarities here, and we're going to see here a little bit of that back and forth. Now, we also have card 9. This represents itself, nothingness, and everything. And actually, this is quite interesting because you can see here the nature, you see the nest, the books, you see the paintbrush. I also feel with 9 energy, this is about completions. It's about accomplishments. It is about you being of service to your promise, which was your first card out here. So some of you, maybe you're born in a 9-month, right? Maybe that's your life path number 9, personal year number 9. For others of you, maybe you're born on the 9th, or 9 could be significant. But for a lot of you, this is about completing some very, very big circles and, circles. Some of you, this is about full circle. And look there's actually a circle there. Okay, but cycles, but again, circle energy. So something could be coming full circle. This could also be generational cycles that, feel like they're going round and round. Okay, something that's been feeling like it's going round and round is finally coming to completion here. We'll pull some tarot cards, but it wouldn't surprise me to see the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, because this is a clean slate for you. You utilize the energy of the 11/11 portal, and then again, that new moon in Scorpio on the 13th. Activate I mean, you don't even have to do much to activate this energy. This is how you can harness it, how you can embrace it here. But I do feel like a lot of you, especially those of you that are watching and tuned into the frequency of not just this channel, but for those of you that have been on this path, or you're opening up to this path, this is about you, utilizing your skills. You see the paintbrush there. What do you want your next chapter to look like? What do you want that canvas to look like? Now, this has come up in the past before, but I want to do it again because I love for you to speak your world into being. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, I want you to imagine yourself, your energy as the paintbrush. And I want you to see a blank canvas in front of you at this time. And on this 1111 portal, I want you to start to imagine what you are putting on that canvas. Drop it in the comment section box below. Drop it below, whether you see maybe words show up for you. Drop them below, whether it is a painting of maybe a home on the beach, maybe it could be your business flourishing, maybe it's a group of people, whatever it may be, maybe it's a big peace sign with people everywhere, whatever your dreams are, whatever you are painting on your canvas, speak it into being, drop it in the comment section box below, check out other people's canvas as well. I'll also drop my canvas in the comment section for you all as well. So we can do this together because we are one. I am you, you are me. We are on this journey together here, but we're completing a cycle so we can ascend and shift into this next level of, consciousness here. Now you have the dream catcher, which I love because if you've been watching the bonus readings and the collective readings, I've recently been using this deck, which is the Horse Whisper, Hearts from a Horse's Heart. And because we have the dream catcher, we're going to pull a card and we're going to see what message comes up for you. Now, some of you, like I mentioned, you're getting messages through your dreams, prophetic messages here. Some of you could even create. They're actually showing me someone making or creating a dream catcher, something with feathers as well. You could find some feathers. Maybe some of you actually have a dream catcher in your bedroom. I see here that someone may actually have one that was gifted to them, or maybe that was something you've created or made. Let's take a look and get a message here from the horse spirit. All right, Spirit, what do we have for the collective? What is this dream catcher message? And that's also interesting as well because the dream catcher is activated. It's like that 1111 portal gateway. So what do you want at this time? What do you want to be caught in that dream catcher web? Let's take a look and see what the messages are for you. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So we have here, we have this beautiful reddish horse, and we see in the background there, it's a nice blue energy. This is all about the in-between, okay? The in-between. I have to turn it sideways to read it here, but it says, you are no longer naive, yet you are still innocent about the situation at hand. So there's an interesting phenomena happening here. You have the naive piece of it, but at the same time, you're awakening. We're in between that parallel. Like I said, in between the stage of wearing in a new pair of shoes. We're in between the stages of taking that key and shifting into something new here. So yeah, you're no longer naive, but you're still innocent about a situation. You have stepped into this situation and have become more independent. Yet you are not ready to move more fully into it at this time. You are truly in the in-between, but you have permission to pause, collect all your thoughts and experiences, and slow the pace of your maturing at this time. The situation will wait for your part to be played, because divine timing, beautiful souls, is at play. This is a big, big time. So no decision, you don't have to rush to make anything. Like I said, this is falling into place for you, and we don't want to go charging or rushing towards the elephant, right? We want the elephant energy to kind of come towards us. So I do feel here that you don't have to work so hard it's about, kind of embracing this, because divine timing is unfolding. You don't have to take tons of action. You need to, you need not to step further forward nor turn back. Just breathe. That's what the 1111 portal is about. Pause, reflect, and rest before continuing forward on your path. And look at that. There are blue skies there. So there are sunnier days ahead. And even though there can be a little bit of melancholy, some nostalgia, you are ready. You're ready for this next step, whether you think you are or not. I feel like you are. Now we also have here retroflexion, and it's interesting because there's a little bit of, we see the blue skies and then we see the darker night sky here. So retroflexion, it says your recent anger, for some of you, this could be an anger for a situation where you were treated unfairly. It could be going through what's happening around the world. We can be angry for those things, but there is something that also someone could be angry. Remember earlier we talked about projection, which I saw projection, but it actually said protection. It says your recent anger may not have been directed at the correct source, or maybe someone has projected that towards you. You may be feeling some fear, or you may be holding back from directing the anger to its proper recipient in a healthy way. If the anger is not directed outward, it will be sent back like a boomerang, landing back upon you. At this pivotal point, you may be feeling generally maybe depressed and harsh towards yourself, towards others, towards mankind or humanity, but explore whether, in fact, you have swallowed anger that should have found another outlet. Because when we swallow anger, when we swallow pain, we suppress that. And that's what creates dis-ease. That's what creates cancer, right? That's what creates a lot of, emotional, physical, mental, spiritual turmoil within the body. But anger it is an emotion, right? It's not neither good, bad, right, or wrong. It is about being able to channel that energy into healthy outlets. You have every right to feel angry. Some of you need to hear that. I'm going to say that again. You have every right to your feelings. And if one of those feelings are anger, that is your right. But we must take responsibility by not hanging on to it. At this pivotal point, you may be feeling depressed or harsh towards someone. Explore whether you've swallowed that anger or you've found another outlet. The lesson here is to become aware of the harm that anger could be doing for some of you. Be aware that you are directing it inward, and further acknowledge and honor the wish that you do not want to send it inward any longer. That's what some of you are really releasing, right? You could be releasing, whether it's anger, whether it's sorrow, anything that shows up on the lower polarity, we'll say, of the emotions. But again, I don't like using that because emotions are emotions, and they stem from our experiences. They stem from things that are projected or within our own selves. So release any of those emotions. Release them out to the stars. Let it pour forth to the sky, asking that spirit send it wherever it needs to flow, and in whatever form is for the highest good for all concerned. So you see here, there is white and there's dark. Some of you are having a really difficult time because that's the in-between, right? That is the in-between. There's a lot of polarity. There's a lot of push and pull. You're being asked to just sit silently in the middle. And that may be why you have the yoga card here as well. So dream catcher, important messages, because we don't want to manifest on 11/11 in a place of fear. We want to raise the vibration of the planet. And if we're hanging on to those emotions of anger, of hatred, of control, of greed, of envy, jealousy, pain, whatever it may be, if we're hanging on to them and then we try to manifest with them, we're spinning around in that circle that's showing up here. And remember what Spirit's saying, we've completed this cycle or this circle. We don't need to keep going round and round. Wow, powerful message there. And then lastly, we have inspired action. So we're going to pull a few tarot cards and see, after this pause, let's work on just releasing, embracing the energy on 11/11, working through some of those things, maybe doing a certain event or activating something within yourself that brings happiness, that brings joy, fun. a community, whatever it may be for you, even if it's just taking a step back or communicating with people or others on 1111. There's no right or wrong here. Yeah, there's some deep healing happening. You have the Knight of Pentacles with the Four of Swords. So take things slow. Don't rush into things. For those of you that have ever got a pair of brand new shoes right before you're about to start a race, right? I mean, get ready at the end of that because there are going to be some blisters. You can kind of want to ease into it a little bit. And for some of you, you are healing through some situations that you've been going through for quite some time. And the Knight of Pentacles reminds you to be patient with yourself. Be patient with others if you can. But also the Knight of Pentacles, I'm getting a message here of it's okay for you to take risks that are necessary risks after this pause, because once you work through this 1111 portal, you're still kind of going through some of the old key, new key, old shoes, new shoes. So once you finally feel like you're stepping out of that in between, which you'll know because you're being guided, you have spiritual protection, you have spiritual guidance, you're going to see that things start to kind of slot into place here. Spirit is saying you'll need to take action because sometimes that Knight of Pentacles can get stuck in a little bit of a rut because they're afraid of pain. They're afraid of getting stabbed or hurt here. And you see how interesting. There's actually a snake and there is an eagle, I think, on the snake. So when you look at that Four of Swords there's definitely an energy of rebirth. There's an energy of shedding the old skin. And for some of you, you may still feel just like a snake. Sometimes half the skin is laying on the ground. The other half is still on the body. Sometimes you just want to rip it off. And sometimes, yeah, you can slowly coax it off with some oils and things like that. But I do feel for a lot of you, you're just kind of waiting for that, that final piece. But all along, what you may not be recognizing is that while you are shedding, while you are transforming, there's a new skin that has been replacing the old. And that's what's actually going to allow you to really embrace this new energy and move forward. What do we need to know about removing any blocks that may still be showing up in our energy? What can we do at this time? Queen of Swords. There's that karmic energy that we were talking about with Libra in the South Node. But Libra is very observant. Look at that. I mean, she has that sword. She's ready to cut through what? Cut through the dark, cut through any of the misconceptions, the illusions, the fears, the shadows. Some of you may have some air placements in your chart, but this Queen of Swords energy, she is observant. She's very logical, rational, but she's a truth seeker. She will stop at nothing when it comes to the truth. And by all means, you don't want to lie to the Queen of Swords because she'll see right through you. And so a lot of you, you're going to see through people. That's part of this next journey, this next step, because maybe you felt naive in the past to relationships. I don't think it was necessarily a sense of intentional naive. It may have been an intentional growth opportunity, a lesson that you needed to learn that was actually intentionally blocked away from you so you could learn that lesson. Does that make sense? So maybe you were in a relationship or you were in a job where you hoped for the best, but you weren't seeing that it was quite toxic, or you weren't seeing that it wasn't really where you wanted to be, but you kept putting up with it and you kept staying in that situation. And now maybe you're still in it, maybe you're working out of it, or maybe you're out of it completely. But you may look back and say, how was I so naive? There is a self-criticism that comes when you point that finger at yourself and say, oh, I was naive. I should have done better. I should have seen that coming. That's where we need to forgive and understand that that was part of our growth. It was part of lessons that we were supposed to endure, but you've gained the wisdom now through that experience to recognize it here, to not allow that to come in again. Because what shows up right behind the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Cups, a soul quenching renewal. This can be grace and inspiration, the gift of new love connections. It can be the gift of love. It can be emotions that finally are open to you. Heart chakra activation after a time of, just feeling all over the place. Okay. Some of you, you had a situation happen that you had to do some deep healing from, or maybe you've been waiting to open yourself up to a situation here. Because I feel for some of you, there is a lot of drive, a lot of momentum, a lot of movement. I mean, on your next card here, now I'm not quite sure if I think this is the Chariot. Could be the Chariot here, card 7, where you're making some big moves. Okay, you're making big moves here. And there we see the tiger, and we see here the wolf, and we see that you have the steps to move forward on your journey. So when that Chariot energy comes in, it's about drive, ambition, direction. Some of you are leaving the old paradigm. For a lot of you, you're leaving the old paradigm, and you are brave enough to cut through any of the insecurities of the unknown. And this is what you need to know, beautiful souls. This is what's on the other side, right? This is what you will be embracing, is this soul quenching renewal with the Ace of Cups. What else do we need to know? Let's get a couple final cards to close up the reading. Beautiful. Look at that. You have so much Knight energy, so much action. You have the Knight of Cups. Okay, what do we have here? You have the Queen of Pentacles. So the Knight of Cups, there you are. There you are going for that Ace of Cups here. You're taking action towards it. So whatever fulfills your heart, right? Whatever is in true alignment with your destiny, you're forging a new path here with the Chariot, with this Knight energy. You're bringing your unique visions to life. You're manifesting and opening your hearts. That's what this 1111 portal is all about for you. Even if you're watching this past the 1111 portal, that's okay, because this is what you're activating. And it's not that you have to do tons on this day, but it's about you embracing and harnessing the energy that's kind of coming in. You've been doing the work. Now this is the ascension that comes with it here. Okay, so Ace of Cups here, Knight of Cups, you're in search. And then we have the 10 of Wands, I believe. 10 of Wands, you're releasing the burdens. You've come a long way. When the 10 of Wands shows up, you've carried a lot of burdens that may have been even suppressed, right, for the last how many years for a lot of you, but you are looking up to the sky here and you're saying, all right, Spirit, I'm surrendering. I'm dropping this. This is a heavy burden that I don't want to take on any longer because I've learned what I've needed to learn. This is not my stuff anymore, or I don't need to keep training, right? I don't need to keep going through some sort of pattern. I can let down my guard in a sense, or I can drop what I've been carrying, because you see the mountains in the background. So you've had to climb some hills, beautiful souls. Now we also have card 5 here, the 5 of Coins. 5 of Coins, some of you have definitely gone through some money issues, struggles, health issues, financial setbacks, setbacks within your health. I mean, this can be feeling all alone, left out in the cold. It can feel like you're not loved, you don't have support. The physical world is shattering below you at times. But here is the Page of Wands coming in, offering you this opportunity to get curious, to step into that, yes, in between. But remember, you're out of that naive, but you're still in that beginner's mindset. So stay open to this new experience, this new adventure. And there's a ship coming in, and we've seen that ship earlier as well. And then lastly here, you have the Knight of Wands. So I love that we have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands. We have now we have the Queen of Pentacles showing up for you. So you're definitely taking action towards your dreams, and your final outcome here is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. She's very abundant, very homey. She can manifest what she wants in the spiritual realm and bring it down to earth. She is represented by tuning into the magic around her, the energy around her. She can multiply things. She's a very, very powerful queen. And we see that there's a lot of abundance here around her. And so, oh my gosh, they're actually showing me the lock. There's a lock here around the piece, and we were talking about unlocking earlier. And so and we literally, I think, said the peace sign as well earlier on the canvas. But something is unlocking here to offer you more peace is what I'm hearing. For others of you, I mean, that's for a lot of you as well. But I'm also getting with the drum set in the background. I just love the illustration of this deck. This was gifted to me by an anonymous. Well, she's not anonymous. Anonymous. I know who she is. I'll link all of that information in the description box below, but the illustration on here is just phenomenal. But some of you, a lot of you are marching to the beat of your own drum. This is about destiny. It's about moving forward on your path here. And as I said that, I see in 4, 4, 4, 4. So a lot of you are tuning into maybe Fibonacci sequence, numbers, nature, different patterns. You may be paying more attention to patterns, such as maybe cutting an apple open and you see the pattern in that. You may be going for a walk and you pick up a leaf and you see a pattern within the leaf. Because patterns is showing up here, I want you to take a look at specific patterns that have to do with your own belief system, because remember, that's one of the cards showing up here. So if you see a pattern in your life, that's what you are asking to release at this time. There's some sort of pattern, and it can be I feel like it's if it's not helping, if it's hindering you, or if it's blocking you from your soul's journey, you're being guided to move in a new direction here and break the patterns that are limiting you. Not healthy patterns, but it's replacing the unhealthy with the healthy. It's being able to channel some of that, maybe that anger, maybe those emotions that we've pent up within us, right? And channeling those into healthier things. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. 1111 portal energy, deep awakening of humanity and collective consciousness. This is about opening and manifesting our heart's desires based on what is our soul's truth. And sometimes it can be difficult getting out of old cycles. But like the 9 says here, we've completed a cycle. You've completed a cycle. Utilize the energy of, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight energy of taking action. Regardless if you're female or male, you have what it takes to move into this next ascended chapter of your life and to be happy doing it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like the messages today, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your time, love, energy, and support. Till next time.